Let's go, Rider Nation.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, here we go. It's a feeling now. Hit 'em high, hit 'em low, 'cause we're dealing now. Everybody's giving it all they got, 'cause we're ready.
This is the Piffles Podcast, your Saskatchewan Rough Riders fan podcast with 100% less Steve, which means 100% more fun. Here we go.
Oh, sorry. Cheers.
This is your Saskatchewan Rough Riders fan podcast. Thanks for joining us here this week. You got me. I'm Alex.
And I'm unsupervised, and I am a little bit angry. I'm a little testy today, and when we get into the odds and end zones, I might come unglued.
We should have done an emergency episode last week because all the good news in the CFL always happens on Wednesdays, and that's what happened last week. So you've had a week to stew on things.
And I'm still like, it's probably a good thing because that news came when I was at work, and I'm just sitting at my desk, and I said a few short words, followed by some longer words, and followed by nonsense. So we should see where I get to tonight. It should be interesting.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. I've been looking forward to that for a week because honestly, even in our DM chat, we didn't talk about it that much.
No, we didn't.
So I'm really curious to see how heated you get on this. But that'll be for something in a little bit. Piffles Podcast, of course, is brought to you by our great friends on Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sass Drive in Regina. We're also proud to be sponsored by Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level, Churchill Brewing Company, District 306, Regina's Tactical Laser Tech Experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas. Thanks for listening wherever you get your podcasts, watching on YouTube or SaskTel Max TV on demand. We appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in to the post-game show as well, too, with the Riders beating the Lions. And I wasn't
Canada's
there.
fastest growing post-game show. You got to be
Yes.
right. Canada's fastest growing post-game show.
It might be the only one, but it counts.
It's growing. That's all that matters.
And thanks for replacing me with replacement Alex was Jeff Fairholm doing an awesome job.
I want you two to compare arms.
He's got me beat there. Like I can, even if I flex my arms, his are still. He's been working out. Jeff's arms are looking pretty good on that post game show.
He's working on that trampoline, lifting weights, getting ready for that next call because he wants to be booked. I guess.
Oh, it's gonna happen from the sounds of it, from the looks of it. Anyway, he's ready. But that was great. I didn't get to watch the game. And I meant to record it because I had to work during the game. And then I realized at like 7:00 that I forgot to hit record. So I ended up tuning into the post-game show and it was great stuff. So thanks for getting Jeff Fairholm on. It's still pretty cool that he listens and joins in every once in a while. That's pretty cool.
I just love that we just randomly throw it out on a podcast. Jeff, have your people call our people. And he just sends his message. I'm in. Like, sweet.
But that Rider game, that's where we're going to start. Riders winning in BC. Let's get to the opening kickoff. So you're going to have to help me out here, Greg, because like I said, I didn't watch the game live. I went back, I watched the highlights. I skimmed through a lot of it as well, too, but I didn't actually get to sit down and get the flow of the game. So the Riders win 33-27, moving the record to 5-1, keeping up with the Calgary Stampeders. Just by looking at it, you look at the stat sheet and you look at the score. 33-27 looked like it was a pretty entertaining game until you see that it was kind of that late touchdown by BC that kept it close. This was a game that really wasn't that close, though, was it?
No, last week we talked about how the Riders needed a statement game, and this was a statement game. They came in basically saying, whatever you guys saw that game against Calgary, that ain't us, and we'll show you why. And you actually, Logan Ferland, who's not much of a talker, I believe it was Vanstone that wrote the article where they said it was either Vanstone or Shire, I can't remember who, but they're pissed off, and that's not the way that offensive line plays, and they were going to absolutely manhandle the Lions, and they did it. Like no sacks. Like Trevor Harris had all the time in the world, and they got some nice holes for AJ early in the game. his stat sheet doesn't show like 100. It wasn't a 100-yard game for him, but they were getting the holes for him. So it was, top to bottom. The Riders came to play last week.
And we'll start with the offense. Trevor Harris, obviously putting up almost another 400-yard game. Dante Myers absolutely balled out. But the team had 4 receivers over 67 yards, so it was pretty spread out between the 4 guys who had pretty good games there with Del Duncan Busby and Sam Emelis had that nice big 60-yard catch.
I thought he was going to break that one.
So close.
So close.
And Keyshawn Johnson, of course, having a good game as well, too. So looks like that offense, what we saw against Calgary, I thought was a lot of not garbage time yards, but there's a lot of wasted yards that they got. They didn't waste that against BC, so it was the complete opposite of what we saw against Calgary. And they were able to finish drives. They hit the big plays, and it was nice to see that offense, that passing game, just go off like it did. And Trevor Harris and Dante Myers were rewarded for it with their honor roll selections from PFF this week.
Well, and it was a full team victory. Lothar went 4 for 4 as well, and he had a 45-yarder. Like we talked about, those BC games can be a little wacky sometimes for some reason for the Riders, and there was no issues on this one. Like, yes, the score looks a lot closer than the game actually was. Don't get me wrong. When it was like, okay, when they went for the touchdown and the 2-point for the win, like the Spaldings on Buck Pierce to go, no, we're going to go for the win, and getting that 2-point, it was like, okay, this is going to be one of those games, isn't it? Like where the Riders control the entire play, and then something goofy is going to happen on the onside, and next thing you know, Lions win with a walk-off kick on the end of Shaun White's foot on the extra point. It's just, but great. That was good coaching on Buck Pierce's part. Did go for that. That you don't see a lot of coaches going for that. They're playing for overtime at that point. So, but yeah, it was the Riders' game to lose at that point, and they did their best to almost do it.
Do you think they let the foot off the gas in the fourth quarter?
Oh yeah. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. Sure, you wanted to pull Trevor Harris, but why wasn't Meyer in there? Like, why are we going to that Tommy Stevens? Let's run everything. Like, Tommy can throw too. But then I guess what's the point of having Jake Mayer on your roster at that point? Mm-hmm. So why not get Mayer into the game? Like, I love Tommy. I love him on short yardage. But
you have that threat of play action if you have Jake Mayer in there.
Yeah.
Because if it's Tommy Stevens in there, you know it's going to be a running play, whether it's him handing off. It's going to be a run play. And with the rules, with the time in the CFL, like you can't really run out the clock much in the CFL unless you're going to have, an 80-yard drive. You can't just run it a few times, get a couple first downs, and that's it. That's not the way it works. Not that late with 3 minutes left anyway.
Oh yeah, it was too much. It was too early in the quarter to do that. Like, if you want to pull Trevor out to save him, fine. But why wasn't Jake in there? Like, on Jake's game, yeah, he won it, but it wasn't pretty. Like, he probably could use some live fire.
You mentioned Lothar, a nice bounce back game. The other thing on special teams. What was your thought on Dre McRae? Obviously, with Mario Alford out with injury, Dre McRae looked great in the preseason. This is the first time he got in on the regular season, and I don't think he's as dynamic as Mario Alford, but maybe he could be more consistent. What was your thoughts on his CFL debut?
He's definitely the type of kick returner. Get ball, go forward. It's not like Mario, where Mario gets it a few times and then he'll go back and forth until he finds his hole. Dre is definitely, he'll get the ball and start heading down the field, which, if you get your blocks in place, is still going to get you quite a bit of yards. Like, he's not scared. He's not trying to do that end around, not trying to do too much. And that's all you're going to ask for him in a situation like this until he gets a little more playing time under his belt. But yeah, he looks solid. Like, if Mario is out for long term, I am okay with Dre McRae back there. to the point where they stopped kicking away. They started kicking away from Dre and going over to Dante Myers because I think they understand Dante doesn't like doing it.
And I wonder if that comes down to coaching. You talking about Dre McRae just going forward in your first game, just get the ball, get the yards that are there. Don't make any mistakes. I wonder if that's something that was coached to him. And then obviously once you get the feel for the game, you get some confidence going. Second, third game, whatever, then maybe you start, looking at trying to cut it to the outside or use your speed and do that. But otherwise, could be just a coaching thing where it's just don't fumble the ball, just go forward, get the yards, don't hurt the team.
No, 100%. And if we're going to talk about other sides that look really good, that the defensive line, Caleb Sanders, God bless you, sir. Like, I understand it's one player and that line works as a unit, but there's an obvious difference when he is in that roster shutting down that run. It is ridiculous. The so-called best running back in the league this season so far, and he only got 30 yards. They got 43 yards total, and a third of those were Nathan Rourke. Just well played.
First 3 games of the year with Caleb Sanders in there, I think it was 43 yards against per game.
Yeah, and what they get this game, 43 yards.
Yeah, the two games without him, 132 yards against per game. Yeah. So that was, I mean, you're right. One person doesn't make the line, but the impact he has is very, very clear and obvious. So getting him back was probably the biggest thing in this game. And when you can minimize, the league's leading rusher and have him do nothing, and you can force Nathan Rourke into making a lot of erratic throws. He was kind of all over the map throwing the ball, and I think that a lot of that had to do with the pressure. And Mike Rose had a really good game, graded out very well. Again, there was just the one sack by Baldonado, but they were constantly getting pressure and forcing bad throws.
This game definitely increased my suspicion that BC made a wrong decision last year. And actually I had this text conversation back with Barney from the Sports Cage, and he disagrees with me vehemently that no, they made the right decision. I'm like, I don't think they did. Like, talk about VA not being able to protect the ball, and yes, VA has some bad games, but so does Rourke. Mm-hmm. Like we saw last year's West semifinal. I think they were better off letting VA get healthier. They would have kept the chemistry in that room because it was a very good team until VA got banged up a little bit. They brought Rourke back, put Rourke in too early, and then that entire team just folded.
Since Nathan Rourke came back to the CFL last year, he's had 2 good games. One was in the game against Toronto, the coast or the game,
Pacific touchdown Pacific.
Pacific, yeah.
His first game. That was his first game back, was it not? Like lightning in a bottle.
First or second.
Yeah, like he was early into the run. That's
part
of the reason they wanted him was his return home and play in Victoria.
Yeah, and then the game a couple of weeks ago against Edmonton, which is that really a good bar to set against Edmonton with how awful that they're playing?
I'm going to couch what I want to say because we play Edmonton this week.
But against everybody else, Nathan Rourke seems to suck. So
he hasn't beat Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg's the only team he hasn't beat yet.
Yes,
they have his number
5 or 0-4 against him, whatever the record is. But he's just, I'm honestly with you. Especially when you look at the wins. I know Vernon's not putting up a great touchdown to interception ratio, but his team's getting big time wins and smoking everybody in the process. So I know it's hindsight. It looks like they made that wrong decision.
And I think a big part of it is VA's leadership. Like VA, like, say what you want about him as a player, but him as a leader, as a man, he's the type of guy you want to play for. He's a guy that fires up that room. You could, even last year in that West final where West semifinal, where the Riders took their lunch money, it was VA, the backup quarterback, hyping up the team while Rourke was still like throwing passes on the sideline. Like, VA leads by example. Rourke's a hell of a quarterback, don't get me wrong. But style-wise, I think that's why you're seeing Calgary rally much quicker this year than they would with anyone else.
Getting back to the Riders, because that's what this show is actually about.
Yeah.
I want to go to the we talked about the defensive line. I want to talk about the offensive line, because there was no sacks against, like you said, giving Trevor Harris the time. Darius Washington making his first start in the CFL at left tackle. How did that offensive line look? Was there any, like I said, I skimmed through the game. I didn't pay too much close attention, but Darius Washington at left tackle didn't look like it was out of place by any means.
If you didn't notice him, he did his job. Honestly, he looked good. Not much for penalties, but they're running like they got to stay healthy on that line. This is starting to get ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like everyone was there this week on the offensive line who was there last week, so that's good news. But they just got to stay healthy right now going forward.
And got to talk about the injury to Kadeem Carey. Now, I still have not seen the replay of it. I know I think they only showed it once.
They didn't. They showed a replay from
That angle.
Flattering angle. Let's put it that way. You didn't see a lot. It looked worse in real time on the wide camera shot. I know a few people that went back and rewound it to go look at it. I wasn't going to do that.
No.
But
when I heard what happened, I'm like, I'm
no.
okay. Just kind of fast forwarding through that.
Yeah, when he went down, I went immediately going, they bring out the cart like right now. I knew it was a problem, especially the way he reacted. Not the worst accident, not the worst injury I've seen. Like I was telling you before we went on the air, Marcus Lattimore from NCAA, USC Gamecocks, helmet on front of his kneecap, like going backwards. That's still the worst that I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
I know many people talk about Joe Theismann, but I love the writer saying, it's there's a possibility. I'm like, no, he ain't coming back this year, guys. I am sorry.
And we got the we got the update from Corey Mace saying he's very unlikely to return this season. And the way that Corey Mace talks about injuries, that makes me think he's not likely to come back next year either, with the way that how cryptic Corey Mace is. But he called off the cart. The cart was, I guess, there ready to come out.
It was.
He said no. He got off on his own power and with the help of the training staff, of course. And that's the type of character that Kadeem Carey has, and he's up there in age for a running back.
Yep.
And I know it's one of those things where it might just be a quick thought in your mind. Whether he's actually thinking about it at the time or not, I'm not sure. But if that's it, is that how you want to go off the field? Probably not. So the fact that he was able to walk off himself, like that's a big thing for players, just in their mentals. So I mean, kudos to the guy for being able to tough it out and get off the field himself.
Well, I remember when Rob Begg had that last knee injury, and it was a minor one, but he went down. He was on the cart, and he was in full blown tears. I don't know if there was many dry eyes in Rider Nation that day, because we thought that was it, and he was going off on a cart, and that everyone thought he was done. So I can only imagine Kadeem Carey doing that mental math in his brain, going, "No, if this is my last game, I'm going off on my own power."
Yeah. So with the injury to Kadeem Carey, now the team did what I thought was probably going to happen once I heard about the injury, was bring back Mario Anderson. It's the move that makes the most sense. I know a lot of fans wanted, a guy like Fletcher.
Keith Toston.
Steve wanted Keith Toston. But it's the move that makes sense. The guy made the roster, and he was only cut when they brought in Kadeem Carey. It only makes sense to bring this guy back. So Mario Anderson will be probably put on the roster right away. I can't imagine that they're going to go into this game against Edmonton with just AJ Ouellette as the running back. So how much we'll see of Mario Anderson? Probably not much, but that move just made sense.
Yeah, if TBH isn't ready, you need a backup for AJ. It's that simple.
Yep. And last week I said that this game was a must-win game, not in terms of the standings, but just in terms of fan apathy. because the last 3 years we've seen this team go through bad losing streaks, especially in the middle of the season. And there's no way this team can afford to have that happen again and still, sell out a bunch of tickets for the remainder of the seasons. People will tune out. And I know you guys didn't think it was a must win in that sense, at least not yet.
I didn't think must win. I said it had to be a statement game. If it was a close, but they showed I wanted the give a damn meter to be raised a bit. If they went in there and laid an egg, then we'd be having a different conversation.
Well, and you guys brought that up with Jeff Fairholm in the post game show. He had the question, what kind of team is this? We've seen this team lose one game and then it just snowballs from there over the last few years. How are they going to react to a game, especially against Calgary, where they got their asses kicked up and down the field? That, were they going to make that statement game? Were they going to, struggle out of the gates and see another, not necessarily beat down, but just not have a good performance? And Jeff said it. We found out who this team is. This is a vastly different team than even last year. I think this team is and I hate using the term mentally strong in sports because it's so different than what it is in real life.
Resilient? Is resilient?
That's a better word. But they're much more resilient, and they're not going to let the downs keep them down. They're not going to, they might have a really bad game. They're going to come back and show that that's not the team that we are. So I think we could all be pretty happy in Riderville, obviously with the win, but with how they played. And right off the bat, first drive of the game, 50-yard touchdown pass. They started out, boom, ensuing kickoff, getting a fumble, and then getting a field goal right after that. And then another touchdown shortly after that. So that first quarter, when you're up 17-1 at that point, I think we could all be happy with how they made that statement in the first, but then also in the third quarter, coming out of halftime. Usually teams can be kind of sluggish coming out of the break, and right away, Dante Myers with another big touchdown catch. So this team will make the adjustments, and I have a lot of confidence in this team going forward. And this game really kind of cemented that. I felt that they were different than last year, but I wanted to, approve it, show me first. And they absolutely did this game.
It's funny. I was going through my memories on Facebook today. 12 years ago, 2013, I was talking about how good that team looked, how resilient they looked. And I'm like, are we there yet? I don't know, but we could be. It's a could be.
Nothing good on my memories for today anyway. I normally check that in the morning. I didn't check it. This is a much different team. So I think we could all be happy about that. And there should not be a mid-season lull with these guys here. Obviously, it helps that our starting quarterback is healthy. So that obviously makes a big difference. But we should be pretty happy.
Oh, I know I am. Let's go. Like I said, I'm couching my what I think is going to happen here, but we got a very bad-looking Edmonton team. Yeah. We don't know who their quarterback is. They don't supposedly know who their quarterback is. Like, the game is tickets are moving. Who would have thought an exciting team that wins sells tickets? I'm shocked. So let's hope they can keep it going, because it's good if it's a fairly packed park on Friday night. This could keep the momentum going for the remainder of the year.
We just need the smoke to piss off and go away.
Oh, that was bad today. Oh my!
When it got bad on Tuesday, like it got worse throughout the day. I was like, oh my goodness, please go away in 2 days. I do not want to try and sit out there for 4 more hours to get another postponement. So
right now, Craig Reynolds is on the blowers. Like, can we get like 1,000 fans?
Yeah. They're prepared this time. They will be this time.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Riders beat the Lions 33-27. Again, a score that flattered the Lions. And it was such a good statement for the Riders that we should be very confident moving forward with this team. Banjo Bull Bus, gotta say, over the next 2 weeks left before we need to know our numbers. We're down to about 7 or 8 spots left. So if you do want to get in on this, please let us know quick. 2-night trip to Winnipeg on purpose. I know nobody likes staying overnight in Winnipeg, but we're doing it for 2 nights for some reason. But the Banjo Bowl bus, sponsored by Engelheim Tours, District 306, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure. We'll take you to Winnipeg and take you to the game and back to the hotel. Hotel for 2 nights, game ticket, prizes on the bus, including a fully customized Rider jersey.
Refreshments on the bus.
Refreshments on the bus as well, too. We got that covered for you. And we just need to know, I think the date Steve needs to know everything is August 5th. So if you're still on the fence, this team's looking pretty damn good right now. This is going to be one heck of a game. And with the way that Winnipeg's playing when they're not playing the BC Lions, then, there's a real good chance this team will win this year. So come join us on the Banjo Bowl bus trip. Let us know. Shoot us a message on social media. Email pifflespodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to have you on board and cheer on the Riders to a victory in Winnipeg. And they're so few and far between. So come on, this is going to happen. It'll be a story to tell your kids and your grandkids someday.
Especially if they put up a 50 burger like they did that one year.
Oh, that'd be nice. That was 2009.
That was the Bishop game, wasn't it?
No. Michael Bishop had that big comeback. It was 38-36 or something like that.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Then it was Durant. It was Durant.
Because I remember, I think it was Jason Armstead threw a touchdown pass to Andy Fantuz.
I love that trick play. They pulled that out a lot, and it worked every time.
He was down at the 1, but they scored a touchdown, and we'll keep it that way. We earned that one the hard way.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Hey, when the receiver throws the ball, you're allowed an extra yard. Okay.
It only makes sense.
Oddball Canadian rules. That's the way it works.
So let us know if you want to in on the Banjo Bowl bus trip. Couple spots left. Let's get on there and have some fun. That's the opening kickoff presented by Kathy Festian of Roy LePage Next Level. On to Remember That Guy, sponsored by District 306, Regina's Tactical Laser Tech Experience. The who's who and who's that of Rider Nation. I get no help on this one. Although does Steve really help?
He hinders mainly.
Yeah. He says he'll do bad, and then after 6 hints, he finally gets it.
Yeah.
How many Van Stones is this one, Greg?
I don't know. I went back and forth. I think it's relatively easy. I got some weird hints in this one that are mainly just a smokescreen and fun facts that I want to throw in because I'm like, wow, this is a thing. Let's go. Right. I don't know. If you don't get it after the first one, I think we're going to go through all of them. So
okay.
All right.
Let's remember that guy.
In his first game no, it's definitely not Dennis Guile. It's not going to be me and you, and I'm going to give you Dennis Guile. If me and Steve do it, I am definitely doing Dennis Guile.
You could, yeah. You'd actually fool him on that, I think.
Yeah. In his first game at Auburn, scored a 97-yard kickoff return touchdown.
The cornerback. Who's literally just on our team. That was.
Nope, not a cornerback.
Not Nick Marshall?
Not Nick Marshall.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Set an SEC championship game record of 304 yards and 4 touchdowns. Broke Bo Jackson's record with 1,816 yards in a season. Drafted in the 3rd round of the NFL draft.
Trey Mason?
Yes.
Yeah. Trey Mason.
Okay. So this is my.
I gotta hear the rest.
Yeah, this is my fun fact. His father won a Grammy in 2006.
What?
With a collaboration with the Gorillaz. His dad is in the group De La Soul.
Oh, I think I knew that.
Yeah,
I didn't know he won a Grammy though.
Yeah, the Feel Good Time with the Gorillaz that won the best rap single, and that was with De La Soul and the Gorillaz featuring De La Soul. All-time career 1,781 career rushing yards and 9 touchdowns. In 2017, was charged with eluding the police on an ATV. He signed with the Riders the following year. Thank you, Chris Jones.
Chris Jones, yeah. He was all right with us.
He was all right. He got an ACL injury, and then we signed William Powell, and that was the end of him. I forgot there was 2 years where he didn't play because he was on the Rams suspended list before, and then they released him early in 2017 when we late in 2017, and then we signed him in 2018. So,
I mean,
yeah,
he had over 900 all-purpose yards, or sorry, just yards from offense.
Yeah, and
in that year,
but couldn't score touchdowns until like last 6 games.
Yeah, he only had like 3 touchdowns,
and they all came at the end of the season.
I remember him with the Rams too, as a degenerate NFL fantasy football player.
Yeah.
I knew who Trey Mason was.
that first season was a very good season, and that second season not so good, and then he just kind of went goofy. So got suspended by the Rams and just didn't play again until Chris Jones signed him to come here.
I remember I interviewed him at practice one day for the show too. So
yeah, you did.
Yeah, he was a man of few words, man. He just wanted to. I mean, these guys really don't like doing interviews after practice. No. They're pretty short a lot of the times. Yeah. In terms of their answers, he was one of those that was pretty short. He was like, "I just want to play football. Just I just want to do my job and get the hell out of here." Like, okay, I respect that.
Yeah. Officially retired as a player with the Riders because he didn't go anywhere else. Like, didn't go to any spring leagues, didn't go anywhere. He was done when he was done with the Riders.
Trey Mason. If he stayed healthy, he could have put up some decent numbers in the CFL. Like, he's still what is he? He's still only like 31 or something now. Isn't he still like a pretty young guy?
He might. I had it up. He is 31 years old. 31 years old.
Yeah, so like still relatively, I mean, old for a running back now, but relatively young guy.
Yeah.
And he could have been around for a few years. Damn.
Yeah. Like you said, that like you're right. That season he played with us, 809 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, 103 receiving yards. Like, he was a decent part of this team. That was when Messam got suspended and released. So he was he was our guy at that point.
He was a major upgrade over. Remember, this will be a guy that a lot of people forgot was with the Riders in 2017. Trent Richardson.
Oh yeah,
he was much better than Trent Richardson. I'll say that. Trey Mason on Remember That Guy.
I'm not gonna lie, Trey Mason was one of the first names I wrote down when I came up with this concept.
Really?
He was.
I'm adding Trent Richardson to my list now just in case. Now that I've said his name, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna throw that in somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, that's Remember That Guy, sponsored by District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience. Now for what I've been waiting for a week. The Churchill Brewing Company Odds and Endzones. Greg, this is yours to go. So I'll set it up and I'll let you go here. Of course, on Wednesday last week, it was announced that Shawn Lemon was reinstated by the CFL. Still has to sit for 2 games. Signed it.
He sad last week because he signed the day before the game.
This one game to miss now. With Montreal.
Guess where his first game is, though?
Against us. Yeah, August 2nd. So, Shawn Lemon, no longer suspended, reinstated after betting on games he played in. Greg, thoughts? Stay on the show.
I know. Like my actual thoughts would get us pulled off Sastel. So I'm not going to do that. Yeah, you're welcome, Damon. We've talked about this several times. The most important thing a league has is the integrity of the game. It's not fans. It's not merch. It's the integrity of the game. Because without that, why are we even keeping score? Why are we even playing? Say what you want about Randy Ambrosi. He knew that. That is why you could hear it in his voice how upset this made him. And he's no longer commissioner, so it's no longer his call. So be it. Stuart Johnson, and I want to say I went out of my way to not listen to anyone else talk about this week. I'm notorious for not listening to anyone else. I didn't even listen to the local guys, although unfortunately I stumbled into Jamie Nye's rant about it. I like Jamie, and Jamie's right. Like Jamie's
rant.
right. He's a great ranter. Like if I can say one really nice thing about Jamie Nye, when he has the justification to unleash hell, he will go with it, and he believes it, and he will let it out. And I love that about him, and he does it well, and he was right on this. This is a giant mark early on Stuart Johnson's tenure as commissioner. Because what this does is set a very terrible precedent about what is going to be allowed and what's not. Because there are leagues that you cannot bet on the league in general. Like if you are playing in the NBA, you cannot bet on the NBA. If you play in the NFL, you cannot bet on the NFL. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about him betting on a game he's involved in. And I've seen, and I like Danny Austin. I really do, despite the fact he has me blocked. And maybe this is part of the problem because he's a good friend of Shawn Lemon. And last week he was doing his best Bobby Boucher impression carrying the water for Shawn Lemon. It was almost ridiculous. It was $100. He bet on his team. He bet, who cares? He bet on the win. It matters because it's a slippery slope from there. One of the biggest gambling, and so I'm actually going to do some recommended listening to on this. One of the biggest gambling scandals right now is the NBA one. Mm-hmm. And the thing that popped the top on it was Jonte. Oh God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Played for the Porter. Played for the Raptors.
Yeah.
And literally, so he was a scrub. Like he was like a bench guy. He would get in a couple of times, and the sports books started noticing that all of a sudden there was a lot of betting on his personal stats, a lot of what they're called prop bets. So you could bet on his rebounds, bet on his points. And there's a lot of people pumping a lot of money on the unders, and he would come in, get 1 or 2 rebounds if the line was set at 2.5, and then the next thing you know, he got an injury and he was out the rest of the game. So that bet hits, and it was happening. So that was the first one to fall. Michael Beasley is out there. They're investigating him right now. So my recommended listening to is there's a podcast called Pablo Torre Finds Out. They broke down, they tracked down this guy who ran this account, who was actually posted a Jonte Porter betting slip prior to the one that he got caught with. So when people say, well, Shawn Lemon, this is the only time he did it. Have you ever met a gambler?
It's the only time he got caught.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I am sorry. Like my history of all the times I told my parents the first time I did anything, anytime I got caught, was a lot. Like, I am sorry. That is not how this works. If he literally got caught his first time, he's either the world's gambler or he's the most unluckiest guy in the world. So don't tell me it happened once and he's learned his lesson. We're talking the integrity of the game and the fact that I don't care if it's $100, I don't care if it's $1, I don't care if it's 100,000. What all this does is he has gotten away with it, and good luck trying to prove it going forward because now he's gotten smarter, and now everyone else realizes, hey, maybe I can do it too. But honestly, go listen to Pablo Torre Finds Out. That podcast, that thing with the that entire NBA betting one is a journey. It is an amazing listen.
And I'm with you, obviously, on this. To me, this has to be a black and white rule. There can't be any gray area. You bet on. I'm not okay with them betting on the league either. I'm with the NBA. You do not. You can maybe bet on the NFL. Maybe don't do it at your own team facility, But even then, that's still a gray area because these guys know each other.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. Your league, especially your team, you do not bet on. That is a no-no. There has to be just black and white. No, you cannot do that. Otherwise, you're gone. And now they're saying any future violations will result in a lifetime ban. Well, will it? Is it actually? Because I don't believe that. And the quote in the press release after he was reinstated was, protecting the integrity of the play on the field is of the utmost importance, and we will not tolerate players violating the CFL's match manipulation policy. Well, that's bull. The league doesn't believe that. Stuart Johnston clearly doesn't believe that. I'm okay with the league, putting him in programs and funding that. That's fine. Whatever, take care of your player or former player, but you cannot do this. And I know the argument was, and Danny Austin said it as well too, was that this was on a game when the CFL didn't have a fully concrete rule in place. Well, come on, it's pretty simple here. You bet on the league, you bet on your team, you're done.
And once again, we live in an era post Pete Rose. This should be like, children understand this. Like, it's ridiculous that a grown man can't figure that out. But like I said, the only saving grace is he's coming to Regina, and I don't think he is going to be prepared for it.
Well, that first game, that's in Montreal, is it not?
I thought it was here.
No, I think that's in Montreal.
Is it? I got my schedule wrong. Now I gotta look up the Riders schedule.
You will be here later in the year, though.
Oh, you will be. Oh, you're right. Riders at Alouettes. Boo.
Yeah, so by that time, yes, and CFL on TSN, they'll have to mention it. But the fact that it's a home game for Montreal, it'll blow over pretty fast, and people will forget about it pretty fast.
Oh, he'll get a hero's friggin' welcome in Montreal.
Of course he will. But it's ridiculous that the league let him back in. I'm with you. It's a black mark on Stuart Johnston's resume already as commissioner.
And I hate to be that guy. Like, the dude never played in the league. He doesn't get it. Like, I've never played in the league, but I get it. But he's also comes from the TV aspect. He wants the entertainment. He understands. Shawn Lemon is a good entertainer when it comes to interviews, when it comes to being on the screen.
He's a good football player.
He's also probably any publicity is good publicity, and Shawn Lemon's going to get you that. But once again, though, the integrity of the game, and maybe that makes me old school. Maybe that.
No, I don't think it does.
But the fact remains is I'm not against gambling. I gamble. I used to be a degenerate. I listened to Gabriel Morency. I used to fall. There's a reason why we do the spread. I'm the one who said we got to do this by the spread, because I believe in that. But I also believe in a player cannot bet on a game where he's got inside information on it. And it doesn't matter if it's his team or someone else's team. These guys talk. These guys are friends. They know what's happening behind the scenes. They know what guys are dinged up and what guys aren't.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys should not be allowed to bet on the league that they're in. And also it's not like he's probably going to bet from his account. It's not going to be S Lemonator
exactly.
on FanDuel. Like, he's going to get someone else to do it. That's how these NBA guys are doing it. And that's how they're starting to get caught. So I don't like it.
What happened to the good old days where agents would just steal money from you?
Whatever happened to like GMs putting cash in envelopes and
the good old days.
Yeah. Hi, Cavis.
So yeah, it's a joke. And to me, it's on Stuart Johnston. The first two things that he's actually had to deal with, he had the smoke game here and the disaster that turned out to be, and then this. Like, people get mad at Randy Ambrosi for I don't know what anymore. People hated Jeffrey Orridge.
Making people shutting down the season for COVID and
Yeah.
making people wear masks in the stands, I guess. I have no idea.
But, I mean, this guy's not off to a good start, and this is all within the first couple months of the job. So, I don't know. It's just, I'm with you. The reinstatement is bull, and it should not have happened.
It's like I said, the fact, like I said, you could hear it in Ambrosi's voice. There was no way Shawn Lemon was ever going to play again. And I think the worst thing he did was make it indefinite. And then, because that was the argument, well, it's not fair because it's indefinite. You got to give an actual time. I'm like, okay, fine, 1,000 games. Like,
yeah. How many games has he played already? 150? Yeah, I'll do another 150.
Exactly.
He's not going to play till he's 50.
Exactly.
Moving on. Last week, because of Remember That Guy, I rekindled my hate for Duncan O'Mahony on the football field, of course, not in real life. I'm sure he's a fine.
I don't know, that beard. I'd hate that beard in public.
Again, still hope he trips and falls and scrapes his knee and then gets up and walks it off. But it had me thinking, okay, I like I said, I still think that's a rational hate for me to have, is Duncan O'Mahony.
Of course you would.
Well, how is that irrational? The guy was awful, and then he took my team basically away from winning a Grey Cup.
Like I had to explain to
Very
someone.
rational.
Like I had to explain to someone when trying to tell me that Trey Ford lit up the Riders last year so he could do it again. I'm like, yeah, well, Rucky Butler had one good game against Winnipeg, and he made a career off of it. So good games happen.
They do happen. Yep. But I want to know, and we'll do this again next week so I can get Steve's answer. I want to know what player in CFL history will you never forgive? Outside of Shawn Lemon, obviously.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I just went on a 5-minute rant.
Is there a guy from, and it could have been just the stupidest thing that happened in a game. Like, I mean, Spurgeon Wynn is at the top of my list too. I mentioned that last week. But is there a guy that you're just like, could not stand? And to this day, as a Rider fan, probably, right? Chances are the guy had a really good game against the Riders or whatever. Is there a guy that you will never, ever forgive?
Well, my battles with Andrew Harris have been made legendary as well. Not a big John Cornish guy. He was definitely a guy that
Is anyone in Saskatchewan really a big John Cornish fan?
He was definitely a guy I could hope like stubbed his toe going to bed that night. I don't know. I didn't really. I never really hated players that much. Like Chanted Henry, sure, but I was always I hate that guy when he plays for someone else. But if he was a Rider, I'd be fine. Like Dwight Anderson. Yeah, Dwight Anderson hated the guy, but the minute he became a Rider, hey, all right, bud. Dominic Picard, same thing. Yeah. Hated him when he wasn't with us. Loved him when he was. Like,
I'll throw one at you. When he was in Calgary, Dwight Anderson's partner in crime, almost literally, Brandon Browner.
Okay, he's a former Patriot, so I'm a little a little torn on that one, but yeah, I couldn't stand that guy either. I didn't really even like him as a Patriot, but Tino Sinceri, maybe.
That's not a bad one, actually. Mitchell Gale. Thanks for ruining the last game at Mosaic State or at Taylor.
I don't blame him on that one. He got put in a bad situation.
Yeah, that's a Chris Jones thing.
Yeah, but it's just, yeah. No, I think if I had to hate a Rider, I think Tino's high on the list. Because what did he do other than have good teeth and hair?
Sometimes it's all you need.
Supposedly.
Elsewhere around the CFL. Last week, Toronto, Montreal, Davis Alexander getting injured. Are they screwed without him?
Yes, 100% they are. Like I was the first one to congratulate Hamilton for locking up the East because Unless MBT found a time machine in the last 2 weeks, I don't know how they're going to look. But it sounds like Alexander's been fighting this hammy injury coming into the season, and they don't want to keep on doing stop and start with him. So they're making him sit for these 6 games to try to get healthy because they need him for the long term. So we'll see what happens.
And time to call a spade. Calgary is a damn good team, and it makes me mad that their turnaround happened so friggin' fast. Dominating Winnipeg in Winnipeg, I didn't see that coming. Not the way that it happened either. And I don't think that the Claros injury had anything to do with it.
Oh, 100%. They were getting their lunch given to them before Claros went out, and the fact that he's like he's already practicing. Oh, everything's fine. I'm like, then why'd they take you out?
He was whining pretty hard about that hit that he took, saying it was a late hit, which it was not. It was a very clean hit. It was a hit to the chest, and Claros. I mean, his head hit the turf, like it bounced off. Like he hit it hard, and so for that reason, I'm glad that they did pull him out of the game.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I just find it funny. But then again, if anyone knows about missed calls, it'll be Zach Claros. So it just like why like I'm actually surprised. Typically, he gets those flags. Flags. So
for once, the refs made, I think, a very solid call because the guy didn't land with his weight on Claros. If he fully went into him and fell on him, then absolutely it should have been a penalty.
Yeah.
But he just hit him hard, which you're still allowed to do. And it was just unfortunate that Claros ended up hitting his head off the turf and had to miss the rest of the game. But
good back bump though. The guy's going to have a great future in wrestling. Solid back bump.
And then Hamilton and Ottawa, the shot by Deshaun Amos on Drew Brown's head. I like how we're victim shaming Drew Brown for not having his helmet done up, which I totally get. Yes, he should have had his helmet chin strap done up. That said, he still took a helmet to the chin. So
here's the thing.
Not his fault.
I understand that this is not the way the internet works, but multiple things can't be right at the same time, people.
Yes.
Like they're layers. Like the internet is like an ogre or an onion. There are layers.
I didn't think we'd have a Shrek reference before we'd have a Simpsons reference on this episode. That's impressive.
You're welcome. But like, two things can't be right. He needs to be wearing his equipment properly, and Amos went through his ear hole. Like they're both things can be true at the same time. But I love and this makes me sound like a psychopath. I love the pictures of the quarterback's helmets popping off, like the Buck Pierce, Craig Butler one that I used in that meme over the weekend. Love that picture. Amos knocking Brown's helmet off too. Those are like the coolest pictures. Yeah, despite there's injuries happening in real time.
And just on Ottawa's side of things, just a disaster of an organization. Dustin, like what happened? How bad is Matthew Schultz when Dustin Crum comes in and they don't pull him in favor of literally anybody else? Dustin Crum is terrible.
Well, he did the Crum back though. That's the thing about Ottawa. They love their stories. They love their like folk heroes, like the
modern day Rocky Butler.
Yeah,
that's what he is. Can't throw the ball to save his life. Can run a little bit, but teams figured him out right away.
Yeah, they keep on rolling him out there. So whatever. I like I told you before we went on the air. I'm surprised that Bob Dice hasn't been fired yet, because I thought for sure if they laid an egg, he was done. And the fact they didn't, maybe the Drew Brown injury, like you told me, was what saved him, or wherever you got that from. Because
yeah, I think it was Gove that said that. Maybe it was on Rider Fans, I believe, that whoever posted it said that they think that the injury to Drew Brown might have saved Bobby Dice's job, and they already have the replacement there. Like Rick Campbell's the special teams coordinator, so. You have.
I had to laugh. I was like, "Oh, that's gonna be Tommy Condell," and I'm like, "What? In what universe are you living in?"
Yeah, it's Rick Campbell's job whenever they
Yes.
want to hand it over to him.
100%. You know it's
Whatever.
coming.
Whatever Bobby Dice sold them last year and had them winning at home and getting a good record, they're not buying it this year.
Pretenders.
Yep. Big time. Well, time to get to our enemy preview. Riders versus Elks, presented by Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas. Friday night at 7 o'clock, as long as there's no friggin' smoke. We'll start with the rider side of things. Found out that Jameer Thurman's in a walking boot with a toe injury. Great. Love it. Can't get enough of these injuries to our starters. Just bring them on. Like, when is this ever going to stop? This is
Never.
now how many years where this team has got decimated by injuries? And to big key players, like Jameer Thurman is an all-star. And we're possibly losing him for this game. He was listed as limited on Tuesday. Just because he showed up there, I guess they listed him as limited, but definitely wasn't doing anything with a walking boot on. And if he's in a walking boot on Tuesday, I can almost guarantee you he's not playing on Friday.
I think you're right. I'm going to hope that you're wrong, but it's weird though, because before we recorded, I realized I didn't go back and watch the players, the game balls and the post game speech like I always do. He seemed fine after the game, so it must have been something that popped up the next day after the adrenaline wore off, because he always gives out the defensive game ball, and he was walking around fine and talking. So I don't know, maybe it's just something after he got his cleats off, something was just iffy on his toe and was bugging him the next day. So hopefully it's nothing major. This was just precautionary. But yeah, if you're in a boot though, that's not good.
Yeah, and at this point of the season, you don't rush him back.
No.
They're going to have Aubrey Miller Jr. at middle linebacker. He was taking the reps with the ones, so he's the next guy up here. It does make me wonder if and when CJ Avery will be back as well at some point. Yeah. But the linebackers have been excellent again for the Riders this year. CJ Rivas is probably the most underappreciated player in the league. Jameer Thurman's a stud. AJ Allen's coming on.
He's having himself a year, and we don't need the hieroglyphics for that.
No, no, he's been excellent, especially getting that starter role. And I mean, I think they'll be okay, but still, it's the leadership. It's an all-star that you're losing for who knows how long in this one. So,
and the cliche is that your middle linebacker is your quarterback, in air quotes, of the defense. So yeah, without Thurman back there, it's going to be an interesting ride. I'm assuming someone like Milligan takes over that role then. But yeah, no, hopefully if he's out, it's just this game and that's it.
And the role that he possibly could have played in this game might have been dependent on which quarterback is starting for Edmonton, because if it's Trey Ford, maybe you have Thurman spying him a little bit, right? With Fajardo, the running threat is there with Cody Fajardo, but it's not as prevalent as with Ford.
Here's a hint: he's going to turn left.
Yeah, just have Carney or Baldonado just keep running. Don't, like Shane Ray, just keep running. Don't cut inside, because he's going outside every single time. Just stay in the lane. Just go straight. Once you get off the ball, just go straight. He'll run into you. You'll be fine. So that's the next thing. Who are the Riders going to face in this one? Trey Ford or Cody Fajardo? They were splitting reps the first 2 days in practice, almost 50-50 with the ones. So, I mean, as a Rider fan, do you want them to have Trey Ford or Cody Fajardo starting?
Here's my logic of it, and neither is good. You've got Trey Ford that lit us up last year at home, or you got Cody Fajardo, who still has not played the Riders since his exit here that did not go well. I don't know which one I would rather face, to be honest. I'm leaning towards I prefer Trey Ford because I think last year was lightning in a bottle. I don't see that happening to us twice in a row, especially the way he looked. Here's my thing I think is going to happen. I think Edmonton doesn't know what they're going to do, and they might just script it for both guys like they did a few weeks ago where Trey Ford was actually doing good and they pulled him anyway for Fajardo because that's what they had scripted.
Awful. See, I'd almost rather have Cody Fajardo because with him,
I'm fine with either. I'm fine
you
with
know
either.
what you're going to get with him. He's going to throw a bunch of slants over the middle of the field. He might take a deep shot or two, and he's going to spin left. That's his game. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah, but Trey Ford also, yes, the playground ball can throw teams off, but if they stay on their man, he's not going to get to read number 2. He's going to get confused. He's going to get lost after read 1 and
Trey
put the
Ford
ball
doesn't
down
have
and
a
run.
read number 2.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to this guy. If he's not open, I'm putting the ball down and running. So I think you can get away with that.
See, and I'm more worried about his scrambling ability. And I saw what happened last year. That still haunts me going into this one. It probably shouldn't because I think that, I mean, look at what we've seen from him this year. He's had one good game. Other than that, he's been pretty bad the rest of them. So, I mean, it's fair to assume that he's probably going to be bad in this one too. But I've been a Rider fan for a long time, Greg. I've seen this happen before. You know what's coming.
Regardless, and spoiler alert and this is without even looking at the spread, I'm still taking the Riders because I'm not scared of the Elks at all. Yes, last year they punched us in the throat. This is not the same team. It is the same team, but it's not the same team. I think this team is better prepared, and even, God forbid, Thurman out, I still think they've got the horses to run here. So,
just to finish up a thought on Trey Ford, Cody Fajardo. If you're the Edmonton Elks and you do go with Cody Fajardo as your one, there's no possible way you can ever go back to Trey Ford, is there? Because that's how many seasons in a row that you've made him the guy, and
did they ever make him the guy though? I don't think they ever actually made him the guy. This is the first year they actually anointed him the guy. Like they did the big signing. Like Larry was there with his pants off doing that contract signing. Social media, still the most bizarre thing on social media this year, and it went under the radar. Larry is signing his contract in his underwear. What you watching? What I assume is his underwear, but and then they did the press conference. Like, this is our guy. This was the year they anointed him. And if they go, yeah, not it. Here's the guy that we got on a fire sale from Montreal. I don't know. Like, but
I don't think you can go back to him if you pull him now. He's been given chances. Last year, I know he didn't start as the starter. MBT was playing okay, even though he couldn't win a game for Edmonton to start the year. And I felt like Edmonton, once they did go to Trey Ford, yeah, he rattled off a couple wins. They got stuck with him at that point. They had to play him because he was the only guy on their roster that could win a game.
They signed Ford to a 3-year contract. He's got 100,000 signing bonus, so they're 100,000 in on him, and he's got bonuses and incentives to hit the 367. 2026, he can earn 400,000 in playtime and hard money combined to 425. So they've got some money behind him. So if they don't go back to him, they're going to pay him a lot of money not to start next year.
I just don't think you can go back to him. He's proven. And Mark Killam now, you got to think, as a first-year coach, are you going to have, like, you didn't really have a choice with who your quarterback was coming into the season. But going forward, like, Are you going to hitch your wagon to this guy? This guy has proven that he's not a CFL caliber starter. He can't read a defense.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir on that one, but also it's not like it was from the old regime. It was Ed Hervey that gave Trey Ford this contract. So that's his GM that got him that. So at what point do you go, is the GM wrong or is the coach wrong?
Well, I mean, if you go with Cody Fajardo and he wins a game, you can't not go with him again.
Oh no, yeah. If they start Cody and Cody wins, you ride the hot hand as long as you can. But unless Cody is not going to lose another game for the remainder of the year, and with this Elks team, I'm sorry, they're going to lose another game this year. So I'm not concerned about them running the table and competing, but I don't see them giving up on Trey this early.
And that could be, honestly, a detriment to them.
Like, did they spend $400,000 just to make sure his brother came and signed with them? I don't know. It's a theory I'm willing to put out there.
Defense hasn't exactly been lighting it up either in Edmonton. So anyway, they're a mess, especially at quarterback. Like they're in a bad spot. But this is a game the Riders should win, and I fully expect the Riders to come out and have a strong start. I don't expect that we'll see what we saw last year in the home game against Edmonton. I think this team is much better than that.
So don't take Javon Leake in fantasy this week?
I'm not saying that, but is Caleb Sanders starting? Is he playing this week? Yes. I'd probably steer clear of any kind of running back against the Riders at this point. Mm-hmm. So as long as it doesn't matter who the quarterback is for Edmonton, as long as the defensive ends don't get caught cheating a little bit and falling for play action, then at least defensive side of things, they should be in a very, very good spot. Yep. And then on offense, it's just keep rolling. Harris has probably been the best outside of, maybe he is better than Bo Levi Mitchell at the moment. I don't know. But those are probably the two best quarterbacks in the league right now in terms of production. So just Harris is very comfortable with this offense. He's got 4 or 5 very solid receivers. They should be able to put up yards and points on this Edmonton team. So I'm not too worried about the offense. It's just, can the defense contain whichever quarterback it's going to be?
Harris is beating Bo Levi on completion percentage and efficiency. Bo Levi Mitchell also obviously has him in yards and touchdowns.
Man, if we had a Kenny Lawler on our team, my goodness. I like our receivers, but Kenny Lawler's on he's in another stratosphere right now.
And Trevor's not that far behind. He's only behind by like 190 yards, maybe. Yeah, and he missed a game. So, and he's got 9 touchdowns to Bo Levi's 12. So,
okay. Well, time to get our picks in. It's time for Piffles Picks.
Piffles Picks.
Well, folks, when you're right 52% of the time, you're wrong 48% of the time.
So Steve's stupid coin didn't go perfect last week. Was only 2-2, so it is with faults. But he did do picks before this. Before even did he look at the spreads? I'm not sure.
He didn't look at the spreads. He just flipped the coin because the coin doesn't care about spreads. The coin doesn't care about spreads.
So we do have Steve's picks here. So we'll mention those as we go. We'll start with Thursday night. And speaking of Thursday nights, I just want to say this. Thank you to the team over at Edmonton Sports Talk. This morning on Tuesday, they had Dave Thomas on the show. So I was going to tune in for a little bit there. They started off his segment with the rec laws. And it made me miss Jenna and Stu so much. I miss Jenna and Stu Walker, the rec laws. They got to do something. We got to bring long live the night back. Something's got to happen for Thursday nights. It just feels right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Thursday night, Montreal at Calgary. I'll guess since it's not Davis Alexander, Calgary's favored by 3.5.
5.5.
Wow, really?
Yep.
I'm not picking Calgary. I just
Really?
I'm not going to do it this year. I don't care.
Wow.
So,
I'm
going with
picking
Montreal.
Calgary.
MBT's got to have one good game at some point.
Yeah, it's not going to be in Calgary.
Let's hope it is. Get it out of the way now. Help us out, and then have a
don't get
crappy
me wrong,
game next week against us.
There's nothing I want to see more than Calgary lose, but I don't see it against Montreal right now because we seen what that team looks like with MBT at the helm, and Moss is already talking about we got 3 good quarterbacks in here without Alexander, and I'm like, oh, they're screwed.
I mean,
They do not have 3 good quarterbacks in that
every
room.
coach is gonna say that.
I know they don't have 3 good quarterbacks in that room, so
They don't believe it though.
Yeah. So I think he doth protest too much. I think they're screwed going into this week.
I mean, I will agree, but ABC. Edmonton at Saskatchewan. I'll say it's Saskatchewan by 8.5.
9.5.
I was thinking 9.5. That's a big spread. Steve, the coin landed on Saskatchewan for him.
Well,
What do you think? Oh, you already said you're taking.
I'm taking Saskatchewan. Yeah, like without even looking, I knew it was going to be a big number, but I didn't care.
That's a big number. I'm gonna kick myself for this. I will pick the Riders and watch them only win by 7. They'll give up a garbage time touchdown to make that game respectable. Same thing with the Beast.
Same thing happened this week. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Yes.
Yeah. The Saturday game, Toronto home to Winnipeg. And we still don't know who the quarterback is for Toronto. It very well could be Chad Kelly. But it's likely going to be Arbuckle again. I'm going to guess that Winnipeg's favored by 5.5.
2.5.
I will say it's maybe it helped last week to have Winnipeg lose when I picked them. So maybe that's good fortune. So for that reason, I'll take Winnipeg to cover, hoping that I'm wrong on this one.
I think Winnipeg's going to take their lunch. Doesn't matter who the
Toronto's defense is just not good.
Suspect. And the coin took Toronto. And I would like to point out, this is when I went to Steve. I'm like, I thought you just picked these until I saw the Toronto pick.
And the final game of the week, Hamilton at BC.
This is a wild number. this is the one when I opened it and I'm like, oh, okay.
So, your reaction to it makes me think it could be one of a couple things. It's either going to be Hamilton by a bunch or BC by some. I'll say it's Hamilton by 7.5.
BC -3.
What?
Yep.
Throw that money on Hamilton right now.
100%. That's exactly where I am at.
Wow.
If you give me plus points with Hamilton after what we just saw with BC versus Saskatchewan, like who made these numbers? Someone go back in time and like scout Michael Riley and put this line out there.
I think we'll all be consensus on this one. Steve has the coin picked Hamilton. I'm with him, especially on 3. I would have taken Hamilton if they were -3.
Yeah, like I can't believe BC's favorite. Unless they know Kenny Lawler broke a leg at a nightclub after the last game. No one said anything yet. Like I have no idea why BC's favorite in this game.
Well, there's our picks for this week. Greg, you're only 2. You picked up a game on me last week, so you're only 2 back. Steve, valiant effort, is still 8 back of the lead. Only 7 weeks into the season.
So
the
only one you and I have split on is Calgary Montreal. So
yeah.
So Thursday night, we're going to decide who wins this, apparently.
Well, we'll see what happens, and we'll discuss it all next week. But I think we'll leave it there, and we'll end the show and cheer on the Riders this Friday against Edmonton. So go Riders. Of course, Piffles Podcast, brought to you by our great friends at Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sass Drive in Regina. Special thanks, of course, to Kathy Festian of Roy LePage Next Level, Churchill Brewing Company, District 306, Regina's tactical laser tech experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas for their support, making everything here possible. Thanks for listening or watching wherever you get the show. This is Ghost Behind Your Mind.
Thank you for being such a big supporter and fan of the CFL and myself personally.